Hey there, fellow preppers. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that could save your life, or at least make surviving in tough situations a whole lot tastier. We're talking about creative food solutions for survival situations. Whether you're out in the wild, caught in a natural disaster, or just prepping for the unexpected, knowing how to make the most out of limited resources can be a game changer. So, let's get cooking. The basics of survival food. In any survival situation, your priorities are water, shelter, and food. While water and shelter are critical, today we're focusing on food, how to stretch it, make it last, and turn basic ingredients into meals that keep you going. Let's start with the basics. In any survival kit, you should have non-perishable foods like rice, beans, and canned goods. These staples are calorie-dense, easy to store, and have a long shelf life. But eating plain rice and beans every day can get boring fast. So how can we spice things up? Let's move to our first creative solution. Flavor hacks with limited resources. One of the easiest ways to make basic food more enjoyable is by adding flavor. If you don't have access to fresh herbs or a full spice rack, no problem. Here are some flavor hacks using common survival items. First, let's talk about bouillon cubes. These little powerhouses can turn plain rice or noodles into a flavorful dish. Simply dissolve one in hot water to create an instant broth. Then cook your grains in that broth instead of plain water. It's an instant upgrade. Got some canned beans? Add a bit of hot sauce or powdered soup mix if you have it. It's all about layering flavors to make simple ingredients more exciting. If you have soy sauce or vinegar, a few drops can add surprising depth to otherwise bland dishes. Another trick is to use the liquid from canned vegetables or beans. Don't throw it away. This brine is packed with salt and flavor. You can use it as a base for soups, to cook your grains, or to add some punch to a bland dish. If you have access to a small garden or know how to forage, consider gathering herbs like wild mint, rosemary, or even edible flowers. These can bring freshness and complexity to your meals. Wild garlic, for example, adds a sharp, savory taste to your dishes and can be used in making a simple garlic butter or oil, elevating even the most basic meals. Foraging nature's pantry. What if you're out in the wild with minimal supplies? Foraging can be your best friend. There are plenty of wild plants, berries, and even insects that are not only edible but nutritious. But it's crucial to know what you're doing. Some wild plants can be toxic. Here are a few common edible plants you can find in many regions: dandelions, wild garlic, and cattails. Dandelion greens can be eaten raw or cooked. Wild garlic adds flavor, and cattail roots can be roasted or boiled. And if you're really adventurous, insects like crickets and grasshoppers are a great source of protein. Mushrooms can also be a valuable find, but they require careful identification. Mushrooms like morels or chanterelles are safe and tasty, but others can be deadly, so it's important to be absolutely sure of what you found. Learning from a local expert or carrying a guidebook can be invaluable when it comes to foraging safely. Cooking in the wild. Think outside the box. When you're out in the wild or dealing with limited resources, traditional cooking methods might not be an option. That's where creative techniques come in. Let's look at a few. First, let's talk about stone cooking. If you don't have a stove or pot, you can heat up flat stones over a fire and cook directly on them. This is great for cooking things like flatbreads or grilling meat if you've managed to catch some. Another technique is using a tin can as an oven. All you need is a few rocks, some charcoal, and a metal can. You can bake small items like biscuits or roast veggies. It's a simple, effective way to bake when you're off the grid. If you're near a body of water, try making a simple clay oven. Shape some clay from the riverbank into a dome, let it dry near the fire, and use it to bake bread or roast root vegetables. Making the most of your food supply. In survival situations, stretching your food supply is essential. One way to do this is by combining high-calorie staples with fillers to make your meals more substantial. For example, pasta is a great base that you can stretch with foraged greens, canned meats, or dried fruits. Powdered milk can be rehydrated and used to create creamy sauces or enrich soups, making them more filling. If you have flour and water, you can make a simple flatbread. Cook it on a hot stone or tin can grill, and you've got a versatile food that can be used in many ways. Wrap it around cooked veggies, dip it in broth, or eat it plain. Boosting morale through food. Food isn't just about survival, it's also about morale. In tough situations, a hot, tasty meal can be a huge psychological boost. Comfort foods like a warm soup or a sweet treat can lift your spirits and keep you mentally strong. If you've got some sugar, make a simple syrup by boiling it with water. Drizzle it over your flatbread or add it to wild berries for a sweet treat. Little things like this can make a big difference. If you find honey or can trade for it, use it sparingly to sweeten your meals or as a natural energy boost. Honey is not only a sweet treat, but also has antibacterial properties, making it a valuable item in your survival kit. Final thoughts. So there you have it, creative food solutions that can help you not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Whether you're out in the wild, dealing with an emergency, or just wanting to be prepared, these tips and tricks can make all the difference. Remember, the key to survival is adaptability. By thinking creatively and using the resources available to you, you can turn even the most challenging situations into manageable ones. The more you practice these techniques, the more confident you'll become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more survival tips and adventure content. And as always, stay safe, stay prepared, and keep exploring. See you in the next video.